Hey, hi everyone. Good evening. Good evening, guys. Hi Murdog. Hi Dhanush. Hello Ravina. Guys, am I audible and visible to you all? Can you just give me a quick heads up? Hi Harshit. Hello. Good evening. Good evening, guys. Can you give me a thumbs up or any yes or no in the chat, please? Yes. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you for the confirmation. So my name is Sanam Khan. I'm from LetsUpgrade and I'm here just to let you know about this bootcamp, how to mark your attendance and get the certificate by the end of this bootcamp. Okay. So we are starting with the HTML CSS 3 days bootcamp. It's a free program and you just need to enroll for this program and attend the class, mark your attendance and you can get your certificate by the end of this bootcamp. And also visible, audible. Okay guys, thank you. Guys, it's a 3 days boot camp and each date will be 1.5 hours session. So if you have any doubt, anything during this boot camp, you can ask us in the chat. The trainer will surely reply you or the moderators will help you out. Okay, so do not worry about it. And I will share my screen quickly to explain you all the attendance part. So give me a minute. Also let me know once my screen is visible to you all. Hi Ramchandra. Guys, let me know from where you people are joining, which place you all belongs to. So we'll connect with each other more. We are joining from Mumbai, Navi Mumbai basically. Okay. Is my screen is also visible to you? Visible? Okay, okay. Thank you guys. Tamil Nadu, okay. Jharkhand, Hyderabad, Delhi, okay. Nice. Haryana, Kolkata. It's good to see that people are joining from so many different places. It's really good to see. Kalyan also, okay. Till then you put it in the chat. I will go ahead with the attendance part. So guys, here in the description box you can see for registration, attendance, certificate, we have this one link. We call it as a one link as everything is placed at one place. You need to enroll for the bootcamp of course first, then only you can mark your attendance. So when you click on this, it will ask you to enroll if you haven't. And when you get enrolled, here when you scroll down here, you can see mark attendance toggle. Click on it. Here is a rating scale will appear from 1 to 10. You can mark it according to yourself. I will suggest please mark your attendance post the session, so you'll be able to give the honest feedback, and which will also help us to improve. Okay. And here is also the feedback option. For now I will put nothing, but you can put it according to yourself. If you have any improvement for us, you need us to do any improvement or any negative positive feedback, you can also encourage us there. Okay, we won't mind. So after that you can again come scroll up, and here you can see the progress bar. It has increased to 33%, and it will increase day by day as you mark your attendance. So if by this you will get to know that your attendance is marked. And we have this communities, Discord and WhatsApp. You can join us there to get the regular updates, daily invite, upcoming bootcamps, messages and everything. So yeah, this was it about the attendance part. Nothing much. Just click on this link. A new page will open, and by scrolling down you will get to see the mark attendance toggle. Okay, was it clear for you all? Let me know again in the chat. Is it uh, do you all know now how to mark your attendance? Likewise, same you need to do for the day 2 and day 3 class as well. Okay, let's start. Yes, we will start with the session in the next 2 minutes, in 2 more minutes. Okay. I Yes, okay. So guys, we also have this all-in-one documentation, where we have put the attendance link, enrollment link, the session links, and also the notes which we have prepared for you people. This curriculum also we are going to follow for the next 3 days of boot camp, and in each topic we have put stored put the notes for you people. You can refer it, and it will definitely help you out in your exams and coding part and everything. So please make sure that you refer it. And if sir shares any of the resources, any ppt files or links, we will definitely upload all those things in this all-in-one documentation. So you no need to go here and there. Just save this all-in-one document link, and you can find everything is at this one place. Okay. Okay guys. And one more thing we have, that is student ambassador program, which is a free 1 month program. Nothing you have to pay. by enrolling into this program, you will be the ambassador for Let's Upgrade for the next 1 month. The May batch has already started, but still you have time. The registration deadline has extended till 5th of May. So you have more few hours to enroll. You can enroll in this and get a chance to win this amazing prizes and this swag, which is gold, silver, and bronze. Of course, you need to complete certain targets to achieve all this. So you, if you want to know more, you can check out our page, our social media handle for this things. Okay, guys, I hope you all are clear, and that was it from my side. Now I will take a leave and call the trainer, who is Rohit sir. He will be there with you for the next 3 days of bootcamp, and he will be teaching you HTML CSS. I hope you all have a great learning. So hi sir, good evening.
Hello, good evening, Anam. Thank you for that introduction, and good evening to each and every one of you who are joining. I hope I am audible and visible to everyone.
Yes sir, you are audible to me and visible clearly. So for now we will take a leave. I will hand over the session to you, and I hope you all enjoy the session. So bye sir, bye everyone, thank you.
Thank you, Anam. Once again, good evening, everyone. My name is Rohit Jain, as Anam mentioned. What we are going to talk about today is the basics of web development, that is HTML and CSS. Let me share my screen. That will make everything clear what we are going to study today. I hope my screen is visible to each and everyone. If not, do let me know. Good evening, everyone. One second. Small glitch. Just give me 1 second. Let me handle it. So, my name is Rohit Jain. I am a full stack developer and a trainer. I've been doing this for the past 11 to 12 years now. I have trained more than 1,000 students offline as well as online. I teach people from all backgrounds, college students, laterals. I have trained people from Kashmir to Chennai, from East India, North India. I have trained people from Capgemini, from Genpact, KPMG, corporates as well as colleges. If you want to connect with me, if you want to know more about me, I have also shared my LinkedIn and GitHub links. You can connect with me there. Right? Well, enough about me. Let's get started. So, what are we doing here today? We will be talking about what web development is, how we can get started into it, what is the role of HTML and CSS in web development. Then we are going to take a look in detail what HTML is and what is CSS. I hope you guys are excited how much as I am, right? A little bit of theory before we go into the practical part. And when I say little, trust me, it is just of 4 to 5 minutes before moving ahead. What should you know before turning to this class? Well, let me tell you, nothing. There is no prerequisite. आपको अगर कुछ आता है बहुत अच्छी बात है. If you don't know anything, well, that is good as well. Okay, let's dive deep. What is web development? First natural question that should arise is, what is web development? The process of creating websites, web applications that require the internet to run. Well, that, to summarize, is web development. There are three major modules when one says that he or she is a web developer. What they do, what they are in detail. They can be a front-end developer. That is, they can deal with front-end development. They can deal with back-end development. A person who deals with both the front-end and back-end is a full-stack developer. He or she, what they do is full-stack development. Now, what is the role of HTML and CSS in this diagram? This explains it very clearly. What is HTML? HTML is the skeleton of your application. If HTML is the skeleton, what is CSS? CSS is the skin. Although not part of this bootcamp, HTML is the skeleton, CSS is the skin, and JavaScript is the brain of your application. We will cover that in a future bootcamp as well. What we are focusing right now on is HTML and the CSS. That is the skeleton and the skin. By this diagram, what I want you to show is that we are starting with the absolute basic. We are starting from inside out, right? Skeleton. उससे नीचे तो कुछ होता नहीं है. There is nothing beyond that. Okay. A basic example of what HTML is. If you can see the code example, the code snippet that I have here, this is how a HTML code looks. What does HTML do? HTML defines the structure of your web page. And this is important. The basic structure, how your web page is going to look like, that is defined by HTML. HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. Markup is a language that is consisting of tags. Now, what is tags? What you see in the second point in red, those are known as tags. Anything written between less than and greater than, that is the angle brackets, are known as tags. The whole HTML is consisting of tags. We will use tags to organize content, to organize the structure of HTML. HTML, yes, it's puts up the basic structure. It is also important for SEO, search engine optimization of a website. That is why having a good HTML structure is of utmost importance. If HTML puts up the basic structure, what does CSS do? CSS is used to style that content, to make that content visually appealing, to make that content beautiful to say. CSS controls the font sizes, the layouts, the spacing, the colors, the background colors, and so much and so more. It also covers, the animations that you see on the screen, the transitions, right? CSS enhances the user experience. We will discuss that in detail in upcoming days, what that is. With CSS is responsible for the responsive design of your web page. To put in one line what responsive design is, that your web page looks good on a laptop, it looks good on a tablet, it looks good on a phone. Responsive design, CSS is responsible for that. Enough of theory, right? Let's now get into some basics, right? Let me share my browser with you all. I hope my browser is visible to you. If not, do let me know in the chat. If my browser is visible to you, okay. Okay, 1 second. Someone is saying browser is not visible, and no problem. Before moving any further, we will download a text editor or code editor, whatever you want to call it. What we will be using is the most used code editor in the world right now, VS Code or Visual Studio Code, what you see on your screen. What I want you to do is, I want you to go on this website, code.visualstudio.com. If you are unable to see the URL, what I simply want you to do is, I simply want you to Google the word VS Code. Simply Google VS Code, hit enter. You will see the link as number 1. So this is where you will end up. This is the website of VS Code. You see the button for download for Windows. If you are working with some other operating system, you need to click on other platforms. I believe most of you will be working with Windows. So all you need to do is simply click on download for Windows and simply follow the on-screen instructions that will install VS Code on your system in less than 30 seconds. Can you tell me whether you have downloaded VS Code or not? Or if you have already have that, do let me know. Okay, so if you have VS Code already installed, if you have installed it, fantastic. What I want you to do, I want you to open up your VS Code. Let me share mine as well. My VS Code should be visible. If you already have VS Code, just fire it up, right? What the first thing that we'll do is we'll create a directory or a folder. So I want you to go into the file menu, click on open folder, file, and then open folder. I want you to create a directory or folder by your name, whatever you want to call it. I just want you to create a folder. So I have created a folder by the name LU, and then I want you to click on select folder, create a folder, and then click on select folder. That way you will have the folder name right here in the VS Code. Some of you might already know this. Well, very good. For those who don't, this is how you create a folder and this is how you get started with VS Code. The duration of all the 3 days is 1.5 hours. That is 90 minutes. All right. Let's create an HTML file. If you can click on this icon, or if you can right click in this space and click on new file. So I'm creating a file by the name index.html. The name can be anything. It must end with .html. This is known as extension, index.html. No matter what you are creating, no matter if you are creating a corporate website, your personal website, anything, it all starts with this. It all starts with doc type HTML. Doc type HTML, which is written in this way, tells the system that we are using HTML and we are using HTML5. The current version, the latest version of HTML, HTML5. By writing this is what we tell the browser, that we are using HTML5. The code that will follow will be according to the rules of HTML5. If you remember in the PPT, I told you about tags, that is markup language. Well, this is a tag. Most of the tags in HTML will come in pairs, opening and closing. This is the opening tag and this is the closing tag. The difference, /. Always remember, there is no place of // in HTML. It is always /. This is a very common mistake that people who are starting, they often do. Now, what I'm writing is the basic structure, the skeleton, or the boilerplate code, or starter code, whatever you want to call it. This is the boilerplate of HTML. Whatever you are doing, whatever you are creating, itna to likhna hi hota hai. This is what you have to write. This is an absolute must. Well, yes, you can use the shortcut as well. This is a beginners friendly tutorial. So yes, I will be writing this, but as mentioned, you don't need to write it. If you know the shortcut, fantastic. Now, along with HTML comes CSS, right? The way we write CSS with HTML is this. We use a tag called link. If anyone knows what attribute we write with link, they can drop in chat. What 2 attributes we write along with link? 2 attributes that we use along with link. Anyone can tell me that? Come on. It's not that hard, people. No? All right, no problem. One is rel, rel, and the other is href. What you write in rel is a fixed value style sheet. Href will have the path of the CSS file. I will write that a little later. As I mentioned, as I showed you in the PPT, we need to work with tags in HTML. So let's focus on some tags, right? The most basic tags of them all is P or paragraph. Whenever you want to write 1 line, 2 line, or a bunch of lines in HTML without providing them any extra styling, you use the P tag. A paragraph can be as small as big. Well, this is a paragraph. And this is also a paragraph. Don't try to read it. It's gibberish, basic Latin. We use this just to fill the spaces on our web page. This is a paragraph. And this, right? A paragraph is nothing but a bunch of words in HTML. Fantastic, guys. Paragraph. Why I call paragraph the simplest of tags? It does not apply any of the styles on its own. Paragraph में however you write is displayed as is on the screen. आप जैसा लिखते हैं वैसा ही screen पे दिखाई देता है. If I write something in capital letters, it will be displayed in capitals. If I write something in small, it will be displayed in small. If I write it in capitalized, that is first letter capital, it will be displayed as is. Right? Isliye, that is why it is the simplest of the tags, the most basic tags. There are headings also. H1, then there is H2. Likewise, you have 3, 4, 5, and 6. Let me change that. The difference between the headings is their sizes. H1 is the largest, H6 is the smallest. There is absolutely no rule in HTML which says that this type of heading has to be used here and this type of heading has to be used here. You can use H1 wherever you desire. You can use H6 wherever you desire. Yes, Somnath, we will talk about meta in a few minutes. Heading tags. There is no H7, remember guys, there is no H7, it's only H6. H1 is the largest in size, H6 is the smallest in size. Okay, now I am creating this web page. I have created this web page. I have put in bunch of paragraphs, a bunch of tags. How can I see the output? How can I see the output? There are multiple ways to see the output. One is you can go wherever you have saved the file and simply double click on that. Right? What we do as programmers, we simply right click on the file name, we click on copy path. What we do as programmers is we click on right click on the file name at the top, we click on copy path, then we go into our browser. Let me share my browser too. Then we go into our browser. We simply paste that path in the address bar like this. And this is how our page looks right now. Yes, we can go to open with live server as well if you want that. Yes, Azmil, as I mentioned, you can skip writing the initial lines. And well, let me tell you, you don't need to load any extension for that. That comes built in VS Code. Okay, as mentioned, let's talk about the go live as well. Just give me a second. Somnath, Sublime misses very, features that VS Code and some other text editors of today's generation has. So I'll advise you to not use Sublime anymore. Sublime was good when we didn't have these much options, especially in the case of AI. I would suggest that you go with either VS Code or maybe Atom or Vim if you are in Mac. Oh, sorry, in Linux. Yes, Azmil, boilerplate. You don't need any extension for boilerplate. You can use live server Uday. I am going to use live server. So, in your bottom bar, in your status bar, which is shown in dark black color here, if you see a go live button, to see the output, you can click on that. Now this go live might not come directly, might not come in your browser, in your VS codes by default. So what we can do for that? If you don't see the go live button, you need to click on this in the left hand activity bar, extensions. You need to click on that. You need to search live server. You need to click on the first match that appears, and you need to click the install button here because I have already installed it. Mine says disable uninstall. When you do this, you will see this go live. Once you have that, and when you want to see the output, you can simply click on go live. It will open the browser and it will open the web page in the browser. There are so many ways to open the web page. Use one which you are most comfortable with. So paragraphs, you can see the paragraphs. These two are paragraphs. These 6 are headings. The visible difference between paragraphs and headings. As you can see, headings are in bold. Paragraph isn't. H1 is the largest in size. Then comes H2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Mind you, there is no H7, right? Let's talk about images. Of course, images is what makes a web page shine. How we can view images, how we can show images on the web page is by using the tag img. Along with img, you need to use attributes src or source, alt or alternate text. In source, you write the path of the image that you are going to display. In alt, you write the alternate text, which only shows up in case the src does not work. So let me write an alt here first. Let me say image not found, something like this. Now you will only see the alt when the src does not work. Because I do not have the src now, what you will see on the screen is the alt text, the alternate text, as you can see in the browser. Right? Image not found. Well, I want images, so I will write something in the src. Let me get some images from the internet. Let me copy this. So now I have a working src. I have pasted that in the src attribute. If I go back to the browser now, you can see the image. Yes, alt means alternate text. Alt use, Pranav, as I mentioned, the text that you write in alt shows up when the src does not work. Having a good text in alternate is important for SEO purposes, for search engine optimization purposes. SEO, if you are having trouble with the term, simply means how your website is ranked on Google, to put it very simply. If your website has a good SEO, your website will rank higher. If not, it will go at the bottom. It will be shown as a basic text, yes, Tanisha, or a paragraph if you want to call it. Yes, there is no H7. What I've written here is an src, is a path from the internet. Now I'm writing two terms here. And I'm leaving those for you as an assignment. You need to figure out what is an absolute path and what is a relative path. You need to figure out what these are and which path is this, whether this is an absolute path or a relative path. Right? Oh, we'll talk about draggable late, Somnath. Now is not the time for draggable and drag and drop events. Alt, Divya, as I mentioned, is used for SEOs, for search engines. If your source is not rendering the image, the text in alt will show up. This is for assignment. What you need to figure out, what is an absolute path, what is the relative path. Good, RL. Now this image I took from the internet. I went to a website and copied the path from there, right? What if I wanted to show an image from my computer, from my hard disk? Right? Let me see if I can find some images. Okay, so I have this image. Let me simply load this where I want. Okay, so I'm on desktop. So now I have an image by the name drummer Avif. So what I'll do here, I'll simply write the name like this. If I go back to the browser now, you can see the first image, which was already there. And you can see the second image as well, which is huge, right? The second image is huge. So naturally, I would want to control its dimensions. I would want to control its width and height. Along with SRC and alt, those two are mandatory attributes. You can apply attributes width and height on an image. Width is the horizontal dimension, height is the vertical dimension. Let's say if I write 500 in here. 500 is 500 pixels. In programming, it is pixels. There is no centimeter or meter, it is pixels. You don't need to explicitly specify pixels here. 500 will mean 500 pixels. If I say, let's say 200 here, 200 pixels. As you can now see, the image has shrunk. It is now 500 pixel wide and 200 pixel in height. You can, if you want, write the words px, write the unit px. It will absolutely make no difference. We will talk about relative links, about EM, REM, VH, VW in tomorrow's class. I'll take that as a compliment, Abhijit. Well, okay, I gave you a short assignment. Some of you already have the answer to it. Well, this is an absolute path. This is a relative path. Naturally, you would ask me, sir, what is the difference? Well, that is something for you to figure out. One and a half hours, Azmil. Can anyone tell me what am I doing right now? What is this? Why this code turns gray? What this technique is called? Yes. Kavya, it's absolutely not mandatory to write 500 pixels in HTML. You can write 500 px. If you write 500, that also signifies 500 pixels only. If we talk about relative paths a little more, see, the file that I'm writing code is right here, index.html. And right here, I have the image as well. Now, मैं क्या कर रहा हूँ? What I am doing? I'm creating a folder. You can create a folder by clicking this icon or by right clicking and clicking new folder. Let me create a folder images. Let me drag this image inside this. So now this is the structure I have, right? If I now do drummer.awif, if I provide it a width, let's say 500 pixels, what can you tell me? Do you think the image will show up now? Do you think the image will show up on the browser? Well, let me tell you right now, the image will not be displayed on the browser. As you can see, there is no image. Yes, Kavya, you are very correct. And yes, thank you, Gangam. Because the image now is in the images folder, is inside the images folder. I need to tell VS Code that. How can I do that? By simply writing this. Images /drummer.awif will tell the browser that it needs to first go inside images folder, then it will find drummer awif. If I do this, if I then go to the browser, you can see the image again. Similarly, let us assume that this image was inside even one more folder inside images. So if I have an images folder, and then inside images, if I have another folder, let me call it images1 or whatever you want to call it. And the image now is inside that folder. If I now want to show the image on the browser, what I will do is this. Images /images1, then drummer awif. You can again see the image on the browser, right? Let me tell you something interesting. What if this image is not inside these images folder? So this is where I am right now, inside the folder LU. What if this image is not inside the images folder, but it is rather outside even the parent folder LU? Yes, Animesh, all the sessions are free. So right now I am in LU folder. If I go one folder back, that is on desktop, if I put my image there, so now my image is on desktop, as you can see, and my file is in a folder by the name LU, right? Now, this will not work. If I do this, images /drummer.awif, this will not work. What you need to do now is this. What I have written is dot / and then drummer.awif. dot forward slash. This combination, the combination of these three keystrokes, it tells the browser to go one step back, to go one folder backwards. एक फोल्डर पीछे जाना है. करंट आपका जो फोल्डर है LU in which you are writing the code, इससे एक फोल्डर पीछे जाइए, वहां पे आपको ये फाइल मिलेगी. इफ आई रिफ्रेश, अच्छा फाइल तो आई नहीं रही. ओके, स्पेलिंग गलत है. ड्रमर डॉट ए विफ, आई एम ऑन डेस्कटॉप. चलिए, स्पेशल केस हो गया. The image is not showing. Let me tell you why the image is not showing. It is because I am on the desktop right now. Desktop. Divya, the whole session is being conducted in English. Yes, I can copy the path, Animesh. That will make it an absolute path, and we don't use absolute path, however. The takeaway from this is dot forward slash will take you one folder, one directory back from your current directory, from the directory in which you are working right now. Dot forward slash will take me, my current directory is LU, it will take me one directory back on desktop. This was an absolute path. This. These are what known as relative paths. Let's also talk about anchor tags or links. Yes, we can go 2, 3, 4, n number of folders back, Animesh. If you want to go 2 folders back, you just need to copy and paste this. This will take you 2 folders back. Very similarly, 3 folders. You can go n number of folders back. Okay, let me keep it like this. Let's talk about links or anchor tag. I have an image on my web page. Well, let me get that image first. So I have an image on my web page, which is this, right? It looks like this. If I want to give it a width, I can give it a width of 500 pixels. Don't need to write the words px. This is how it will look. What if I wanted to go on a website of a concert when I click on this? What if I want to go to Instagram when I click on this website, or any other website for that matter? Links or anchor tags take you from one web page to another. Links or anchor tags take you from one web page to another. What I'll do is I'll simply wrap this anchor tag in wrap this image in a. Matlab, I will write a href here. A and anchor tag comes with the attribute href. I have started the A here, and I will end that A in the ending, as you can see. So I have wrapped the image in an anchor tag. Nothing will happen right now. You need to mention the path of the web page on which you want to go in href attribute. Yes, you will get the notes, Gia. Saurabh, links and anchor tag, they are both the same things. Let's say if I wanted to go to Instagram, what I'll do is something like this. If I go to my browser, if I click on the image now, you can see Instagram. Similarly, you can open any other web page. Let's try and open Google. If I now click on the website, oh, sorry, if I now click on the photo, Anish, A or anchor represents the connection between two web pages. Yes, anchor tag has a closing, Azmil. No other tag will help you open that hyperlink on another tab, Tanisha. That can be achieved by using an attribute on this very anchor tag called target. If you want google.com to open in another tab, you simply write underscore blank in target. Now, what will open is, see, this is my tab, this is my web page here. If I click on this image, you can see Google is opening in another tab. This is my web page and this is another tab. You can do for any web page, Bevara Latha, LinkedIn, Google, Instagram, whatever you want to open, you can simply put that web page's URL in anchor tag, in href of the anchor tag. Target, it is underscore blank. Sunil, not blank, it is underscore blank. Yes, Saurabh, if you open that in a new tab, your current page will not reload. It's not that you can only create anchor tag out of images. You can create anchor tags out of headings, paragraphs, whatever. So this is a paragraph. Right now, it does nothing. If I even click on it, it takes me nowhere. If I create a here, href, like this, if I take the closing tag and if I put it here. Now, when I'll click on this paragraph, I will go somewhere. I will go to some other page. Which page? Well, the URL which I'll mention in here, LinkedIn. So when I'll click on this paragraph, it will take me to LinkedIn. Well, this is my LinkedIn. If someone's interested, this is me. You can connect with me. Difference between SRC and href. SRC is used with anchor tag, with image tags. SRC contains the path or source of the image. Href contains the path of another web page on which the user will land when that anchor tag is clicked. You have lists as well. There are two types of lists in HTML: ordered list, unordered list, OL, UL. Then there's another list called definition list. It is not used anymore. No point in studying that. So there are two kinds of lists that are in use right now: OL, UL, ordered, unordered list, OL, UL. Whichever list you are using, whether OL or UL, inside that you create another tag called LI or list item. SRC can be used for any kind of media, Saurabh, not just images. You will be using that for videos as well, audios, videos as well. So OL, inside OL there will be an LI, inside UL there will also an LI as well. What is the difference between a OL and a UL when they both contain li tags? The difference in their markings. If you go see into the browser, the ordered list have their markings as or list style as 1, 2, 3, and then UL has simply what known as dots or bullets. List item, Sai Shrija. LI stands for list item. Target tells the browser, Saundarya, whether to open the new page in the same tab or in a new tab. That is what is defined by target. Of course, you can change these 1, 2, 3 in OL and these bullets in UL. Now, in HTML, there are only few ways how you can change them. Into diamond design, that will be changed in CSS tomorrow in tomorrow's lecture, Divya. Right now, you can change the OL in one of these 5 attributes. And you can change the UL in one of these 3 attributes. Oops, sorry. Disk, the default one. You have squares and you have circles. Let me write all 5 and 3 of them. Ordered list. Sheetal, OL stands for ordered list. These are the 5 types you can change OL into. These are the 3 types you can change UL into. Well, you will have endless of symbols you can change the list into, but with CSS. With HTML, you have only 5 upwards in OL and 3 here and square. We will see those tomorrow. You will get the notes after the class, Tejasri. Yes, Saurabh. The difference between UN and OL, Sai Srija, is in the markings that is shown in the browser, nothing else. You can have 4 attributes in target, Saurabh. In target, you can use underscore blank, underscore, sorry. You can use underscore top, you can use underscore parent, and the default one you can use underscore self. Now, before you ask, you'll have to figure out what these are. Let's talk about a tag. No matter what kind of web page you are creating, a simple one, a complicated one, you have to use that tag. And that tag is div. Div, some people call it division as well. When you write this tag on its own, standalone, it does not do anything. As you can see, I have div written here. If I go to the browser, you will see nothing. Right? If I just comment out the things written at the top, you will see that the div does absolutely nothing. Right? Then what is div used for? But yes, div is used in all of web pages. Well, div, as correctly mentioned by Sunil, is a block element is a container. Div or div tag is a container for other tags and HTML elements. You will never see a div used like this. Rather, what you will see, how you will see div being used is let us assume I'm creating a blog, a news website. In a news website or in a blog, there is a heading, there is a photo below the heading, and then there is some text. Right? So let's say I have a heading. I have an image because we only have one image right now. So let's have that. And some paragraph. Right? How div is used? A div will be used to combine all three, to bind all these three, and then apply a single style on those. Yes, div is nothing but a container. In that container, you can put anything and everything. उस container में कुछ भी आ सकता है. So you start a div at the top and you end it here. Now this H2 image and P, they are one family. They are bound by this div. Yes, we need a lot of container, Abhijit. This is how a div is used. As mentioned, div is a block element, right? Div is a block element. All the HTML, all the elements in HTML which we have studied so far and which we will study in the future classes, they can only be classified into two categories: block elements and inline elements. Div is an example of a block element, yes. You will need to figure out some inline elements. We have actually studied 2 to 3 of them as already. Strong, bold, we will study all of them as well. Don't worry. There are so many tags still left. Some are block elements. Let me write an example of a block element. We have already studied an inline element, image. Image is an inline element. You can tell me some other examples of that. Very good, Abhijit. Okay, someone is asking, why do we use strong? Let's say I have a paragraph. I have written something like this in that paragraph. Out of this, what I need is, I need to highlight the word LinkedIn. I need to make the word LinkedIn stand out. I need to make the word LinkedIn bold. Right now, how it is displayed on the browser is like this. As you can see, not very attractive. Right? What I need to do is, I need to make the word LinkedIn stand out. How I can do that is by either using a tag B on both the sides. B stands for bold. Right? If I do this, if I then go to the browser, you can see now the word LinkedIn is in bold. Right? I can do the very same thing with strong. As you will see, there is absolutely no difference. As you can see, no difference whatsoever. Bold was doing the same thing as is strong. Then what is the difference? No difference in bold and strong in their outputs. There is no difference in the output of bold and strong. The only difference is how they are read by the search engines. Using strong will tell Google or other search engines that you are a good developer. Using strong will tell search engines that you are a good developer, that we have to rate, we have to rank this website higher. Strong comes from a family, comes from a set of elements called semantic elements. Strong is a semantic element. B or bold is not a semantic element. I will discuss semantic elements in detail in tomorrow's class. Right now, all you need to understand is strong is a semantic element. And search engines, Google, right? They rate semantic elements better. This is what you need to keep in mind. Why use strong? Strong is a semantic element, Kavya. You have to use strong instead of B. Very similarly, let's say I have my name here. Let me comment out everything. I can make my name in italic. I can make my name in italic by using I tag. I stands for italic. Again, output, you will see no difference. This is I. I can do the very same thing using a tag called EM. Sorry. Output, still the same. Just like strong and B, they do the same thing. One is semantic, one is not. I and EM, they both do the same thing. I or italic, or let's say EM. EM is a semantic element, while I is not. Yes, Usman, learning HTML will never, 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 and never go out of trend or fashion, whatever you want to call it. Uday, marquee tag is deprecated. चल रहा है, कल को नहीं चलेगा, so you never know. We don't use marquee tag as of today. We use animations for that. Yes, I and EM, they work the same. EM, known as emphasis. Google understands this better than I. So use EM when you want to italic something, when you want to tilt something. Yes, Tanisha, fantastic. Semantic, the word semantic means which shows their purpose, by which define their purpose by their name. Those are semantic elements. There are still some of the tags which are remaining. Form, primarily out of them. EM is semantic, yes. Before understanding some other tags, before understanding form, let us, in the remaining time, understand something about CSS. Right now, our page, okay, which दिखाएं to see, is not looking very good. It is very blank, very basic, right? If I simply open this up, मजा नहीं आ रहा, right? Well, let's try and apply some CSS to it so that we can have a good looking page, have a presentable page. As mentioned already, you can have CSS, you can apply CSS on HTML by using a tag called link. Yes, Musib Zahir, semantic tags improves SEO. So yes, it is always recommended to use semantic tags. EM stands for emphasis, Animesh. Hema, that is for you to Google and figure out what is semantic element. Okay. There is so much for one file. Let us create another file. Let us create another file. So let me create styling.html. As someone was saying, we don't need to write the boilerplate code. It can come up automatically. Yes, it can come up automatically. You can start the page by writing exclamation and pressing enter. So this is the boilerplate code which shows up automatically because we don't right now know the meaning of line 4 and 5. So I am not going to write this way. I am going to write it by hand. Don't worry, we will understand meta tags in the upcoming classes. Don't worry about that. Let's use the link tag. Let's create a file called style.css. When you are creating an HTML file, it should end with .html. Very similarly, when you are creating a style file or a CSS file, it should end in CSS. The name can be absolutely anything, but it should end in .css. So what I have multiple paragraphs, right? Let's say Delhi, Mumbai, whatever, Pune, Kolkata. Right now, they are looking just like this, plain old text in the browser. Yes, it is external CSS, Ajmal. We don't use inline and internal CSS in practical applications. So that is why we are just sticking to external. What I want is, I want these text to be bold. I want these text to be in red in color. Yes, Ajmil, that will be inline CSS, and we don't encourage inline CSS in production applications. No, Ganesh, it is saved by using extension .css. So I have a web page styling.html and I have a CSS style.css. Please don't get confused by the names. So what I want these paragraphs in red color. Let's start very simple. What I'll do in CSS is this. I will simply write the tag name, which is P, curly braces. The property is color, COLOR, red. You can have this color name. Okay, let me show you the browser as well. As you can see, it is red in color. If you know, there are other ways to apply color as well instead of name. What you can do is, you can write something like this as well. This is also red. You can write this as well. This will give you red too. There are multiple ways to apply color or background color. The most common of them is by color name. This is color name, red, green, blue, yellow, purple. This is hexadecimal, more commonly known as hex code. And this is RGB. The RGB in this stands for red, green, blue. Whichever to use where. Again, there is no rule. You can use which comes to your mind first, or with which you are most comfortable. Yes, we can change the background color as well, Animesh. You can change the background color. Okay, let's change the background color of this whole page, not just of these paragraphs. If you want to change the background color of the whole web page, you can do so by applying a selector called body. Which body I'm talking about? I'm talking about this body tag. You can change the whole background color of your whole page by using body as a selector and by writing property called background color, whichever color you want. Let's say aquamarine. So this is what you get. There is HSL, there is OKLCH as well, Sunil. We are only concerned with the most common ones, right? There's no scope for telling you each and everything in the limited time. Well, just so you know, along with RGB, there is something known as RGBA as well. I don't know what it is. You need to figure out on your own. But there is another thing called RGBA by which you can apply colors and background colors. Let's talk about border. What I want is, I want a border around each of these city names, around each of these paragraphs. What I can do is, I can use a property called border. Border consists of three things: border width, border style, and border color. 2 pixels, this is border width. Solid means a solid line, as you can see. By default, it takes the text color because the text color was red, the back border is also red. If you want the border in some other color, let's say black, this is how you apply a border. Let's talk about border radius as mentioned. Right now, as you can see, the borders of these paragraphs, they are at 90-degree angles. They are pointed. Border radius makes these borders curved, rounded. You can apply border radius in pixels. If I apply, let's say 5 pixels, you will see the border curving. If I extend it, you will see the border curving more and more and more. Let me create another file called margin padding. So what I have 2 paragraphs with me, right? If I apply border on those paragraphs, border, as we just understood, 2 pixels solid. Margin is the space between 2 elements. Or you can classify margin as distance between 2 elements, distance between the borders of 2 elements. Margin. Padding is the space between the border and the text of an element. No, Animesh, we can't use border 2 only. The style has to be there. Width, the style has to be there. Yes, space inside the element is called padding. The space outside the element is called margin. That's the simplest explanation of it. If you see right now, there is not much space between the element and its border. Element's text and its border, there is not much space between them. That is what padding is. If I write padding, if I write, let's say 20 pixels, you can see the space, this space, this, and this being increased. This is padding, where my cursor is hovering right now. And margin is the space outside of the box. If I do margin 50, you can see the space outside the box is increased. Yes, we can add hovering effect as well. We can add text shadows, border radius, so many things. In tomorrow's class, we will understand CSS in deep. We will understand properties like flex, properties like grid, properties like position, opacity. We will also try and understand CSS3's properties like transition, transform, and animation. And we will create a web page with all these properties that we have understood today and properties that we will understand tomorrow as well. Flex, Asmil, we will discuss in detail tomorrow. Don't worry, we will add display flex, justify, the flex wrap, align items, flex shrink bases, whatever. Multicolor is Anas can be applied by using linear gradient. Yes, Himanshu, grade, media queries, everything will be covered. Yes, we can make a Reddit clone, not in the time we have in our hands right now. Before ending today's class, I want you to give a small assignment. You need to study about flex so that you understand the properties like flex wrap, properties like justify content, align items, flex shrink basis. You should understand the difference between position, absolute, relative, fixed, and sticky. Yes, I will tell about CSS animation, Sumit. You should understand, or you should study the difference between transform, translate, scale, skew, and rotate. Both 2D and 3D. I hope you enjoyed today's class. If you have any questions about today's class, anything that we covered today, anything you didn't understand at all, now would be the time. Anas, you can ask about student ambassador to Anam. That will be a better person to answer that. This is what we will study tomorrow. Tomorrow's class is going to be a long one, and I will through some properties. You need to have a refresher, a little study on these properties, a little bit more about flex. Rushi, we haven't started flex today. That is going to be covered tomorrow. Anas, you can join tomorrow at 6 p.m. She will be there. She will answer all your questions. Thank you, Stuti. And if you want to connect with me, as I mentioned, you can connect with me on LinkedIn. This is me. You can search my name. This is me. You can find me. You can connect with me. I'll always like connecting with you people. Thank you. Yes, this session is recorded, Radhakrishnan. You can check Let's Upgrade page on YouTube. You can find this session there. Thank you, guys. Notes will be provided to you on the all-in-one link, which Anam talked about, Brawala tha. Tomorrow timing, same time, same duration, Animesh. Rishi, you need to send me your resume for that. Notes will be provided MRK 2004. Thank you. Certificate will be provided after this bootcamp is over. That will be all from my side for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the session. And if time permits, Ganesh, we will discuss deployment on Vercel, Netlify, Render, Azure if time permits. Yes. That will be all, guys. I hope you liked this session. Thank you. Do join tomorrow. A very good evening. Thank you.